last couple days, and we got some yellow perch, and we're cleaning them today. I just want to give you a quick tutorial. If you want to learn how to butterfly fillet a perch, I'll show you how to do it real quick. I'm going to start to finish here. You want to scale good. People use wash tubs, all kinds of stuff, but I like this little hand filleter. I like to do mine by hand. I mean, if you got a wash tub set up, that's awesome, like the commercial ones have. You can drink a couple beers and let your fish clean, but I do it the old-fashioned way. But this little brass, if you Google it, I forget what it's called. It's a brass scaler. It's nice. So I usually scale. I'm doing it by myself today. I do about 10 at a time. But the nice thing about if you're hand scaling, get rid of this. Get rid of this and get one of these. It's so much better. And I'll show you why. Because you've got so much weight to this. Because you really want to, especially up here, you want to get those scales off and right up into the head. And I'll show you why you want to do that. But you just keep raking forward, and it really does a quick job. And that little light aluminum thing, this is my style. I put my finger in there, put the tail in there so I can turn it and manipulate it while I'm scaling it. It's not falling out of your hand or anything, but see, I rake because I'm going to go way back in here. I'm going to get every bit of meat I can. So I can really rake this hard with this thing. Flip it over. See, I'm just tearing it up. I'm not being gentle. You really want to get all your meats up in here, so you really want to get them scales off against that dorsal fin. Come up in here. And then I throw them in the rinse bucket. I'm using a Moroccan fillet knife. This is I believe it's a 4-inch fillet knife. Really nice knife. Got a nice rubber grip on it, and they're super sharp. I like a super sharp blade when I'm filleting, especially perch, because you want to get every little bit of meat you can. You put a lot of work in that. This is my mechanical steel. We'll talk about that some other time. But you really want a nice sharp blade. It's quicker, and you're going to get the most meat off. So, real quick, how I do it. Go down the back first on one side. Get down to about here and pull it through. Some people, they'll cut this first, but there's a nice little chunk of meat right there. You'll lose if you just cut like that. I cut in like that and then follow my blade around right underneath these fins here, just like that. I'm going to explain one, then I'll do one without explaining it. You can see. Now I flip it over. A lot easier. A lot of people take one side off and then do it. It's a lot easier if you keep the fish whole, because you can really hold on to your fish. Bring it down. Pull it through. Same thing up here. Right here, right behind the head. Make sure you scale all the way up there. That's all meat there, and I'll show you when we're done. You come up around under and just follow those bones and fins right around like that. Now you're going to come up under here with the tip of your blade and work your way back and forth. You're going to feel those bones. And you hear that? Now I'm going to push down where those bones are and just bring it like this. You'll hear it hitting bone. You're not hitting the bones though. You're scraping the bones, but you're not cutting them off. There's no bones in there, so don't be worried about that. Hear that? Now, there's a little ridge right there. So now that I got past that, now I'm going to push down against those ribs and just a wrist motion here. And just pull it right off. And there's your butter. I want a little thin on that one. Now, see how I curved up into the head here? And look, there's your bones, there's your ribs. There's not a whole lot of meat left there. Just a little bit. If you try to get that, you're going to get into bones. But you can see all the bones are still there where I followed it. Here's that ridge I told you about. Once you get past there, you push down. If you got a sharp knife, it just follows that rib line. See, that's one where I said I went too shallow. I know. Look at that meat we wasted. But so there you go. You're not cutting the heads off or anything. You just throw that in your gut bucket. You can see our fillet here. If you'll notice, it points upwards because I got a lot of times, like I said, if you just cut across, you're going to miss. this little chunk of meat right here. That's a nice little chunk of meat. You work hard for these perch. That's a significant chunk of meat. I prefer butterfly fillet, and I leave the skins on. Personally, I love the skin on perch. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions or comments, you got a better way or anything, feel free to like us and comment in the comment section. Thank you.